Welcome to the Deep Dive with 9thwunder magazine, where we take pride in spotlighting special brands. I am your host, Natalie Stone.
And I'm your co-host, Ryan Cole. And today we're doing just that with a deep dive into Michael Johnson.
We are really peeling back the layers on the journey and the creative philosophy behind his brand Truth and Distinction, or T&D.
Right.
And this isn't just about, reviewing a successful clothing line. It's more of an exploration of how a vision evolves under pressure.
And the sources make it so clear right from the start. T&D was never designed to chase trends or get that quick win.
Yeah.
He built this brand on a foundation of, well, three things: identity, faith, and intention. He stands on those principles, and that creates clarity in a very noisy landscape.
That concept of identity first is, I think, what's so crucial here. T&D was created to remind people who they are before telling them what to wear. It completely flips the script on conventional fashion marketing.
It really does. And what's fascinating is how Michael Johnson's own journey, his own intentionality, it mirrors that philosophy. The move from Knoxville to Florida wasn't a hard reset.
Right. It wasn't a reinvention.
Exactly. It was a refinement. It was a chapter about growth without compromise.
Yeah.
All held together by his faith.
Okay, so let's dig into that. If T&D was already rooted in these strong principles, why move at all? I mean, Knoxville was familiar. It was safe.
It was the comfort zone.
It was a comfort zone. It's where the foundation was laid. But leaving that for uncertainty, that takes a huge amount of conviction.
It does, and that's a really important question. Because the growth, it wasn't easy. It wasn't instantaneous.
Yeah.
Leaving Knoxville demanded enormous patience from him.
I can imagine.
He stepped into the discomfort of a totally new market without abandoning who he was. And a new environment, it strips away distractions. It forces you to align what you believe with what you actually do.
So it's like a baptism by fire for the brand's integrity.
That's the perfect way to put it. The brand didn't change its core.
No, the transition just forced the core to prove itself somewhere tougher. It almost sounds like he was consciously seeking out a crucible for T&D.
Absolutely. The transition didn't reinvent T&D, it sharpened it. The brand became so much more intentional, more disciplined. The growth wasn't just theoretical anymore for him. It became embodied.
And he used the physical landscape of Florida to do that.
Yes. And here's where it gets really insightful, because the sources treat Florida not as one single place, but as a collection of, microenvironments.
We're not just talking about one city. We're talking about 6 specific locations, and each one acted as its own unique pressure test. It feels less like a move and more like an intentional curriculum.
That's the power of what they call the Florida arc. He didn't just settle in one spot. He exposed the brand to these different geographical and cultural imprints all across Northeast Florida.
So let's break those down, the 6 locations and what they taught him. Because the detail here, it's a fascinating blueprint for intentional growth.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning of the arc with Yulee.
Yulee.
This location represents grounding. Think of it as home base, quiet discipline, the unseen work you do when nobody's watching.
That's so important, grounding yourself before you step into the chaos.
It's everything. And from that quiet space, he steps out to Fernandina Beach.
Okay, so Fernandina Beach.
This is all about perspective. You've got those wide open horizons, that breathing room. It's a reminder that your vision has to extend way beyond the immediate pressure of the day-to-day.
To stop focusing on just the next sale and remember the legacy.
Precisely. So you've got grounding from Yulee, perspective from Fernandina. Then he steps into the city, into North Jacksonville.
And what did that environment bring?
North Jacksonville is motion. It's learning the pace of building with intention, but without getting scattered by all that urban energy and noise.
So strategic movement, not just reacting.
Exactly. He had to embody that forward momentum without compromising the quality. And right in the middle of all that motion, you get the counterpoint, the South Bank Riverwalk.
Which represents reflection.
Yes. Staying rooted while you watch business and life just flow by. It teaches you progress without panic. You observe, you see the urgency, but you stay centered.
That's critical for avoiding burnout. So we have grounding, perspective, motion, reflection. Next up is San Marco.
San Marco is about refinement. It's a neighborhood known for its taste, its precision. This is where he learned that intentional movement also has to be precise movement.
The details matter.
They matter immensely. It's the difference between just making a shirt and crafting a piece. Refinement is where quality starts to feel like luxury.
And then the final test, Arlington.
Arlington represents resilience. The sources just call it real life. It's where growth is earned, not given.
Mhm.
If T&D could maintain its high standards there, then the principles are truly resilient. It's the ultimate stress test.
Wow. So when you map it out like that, it's so clear. He let these 6 places become the tools that strengthen the brand's resolve. This wasn't just a move, it was a curriculum.
It absolutely was. And that curriculum leads directly to the brand's core philosophy, which is the call to step boldly.
We hear boldness all the time in marketing. It usually means being loud or taking huge risks. How does T&D define it?
For T&D, boldness is pure intention. It is not recklessness. It means you honor your standards, even when compromising would be easier or faster.
It's choosing patience and quality when shortcuts are everywhere.
Yes. He focuses on maintaining that foundational integrity above everything else.
And that integrity, that seems to be what informs their definition of luxury. Because for T&D, luxury is not about the price tag, it's defined by respect.
Which is such a radical idea today.
Right.
And that respect, it operates on 3 levels. The first is respect for the craft.
An anti-fast fashion stance, right, focusing on materials, construction, things that last.
Right. It's honoring the skill that goes into making something timeless. Then the second level is respect for the customer.
Not just selling them a logo, but a principle they can actually stand on.
Exactly. You're not just a consumer to be monetized. You're someone aligning with a purpose. And the third, and maybe most important, is respect for the calling behind the work. The faith. It's not a tagline. It literally anchors every single decision, from design to sourcing. It's the ultimate quality control.
And because he maintained that alignment between belief and action, the growth the brand has seen is it feels organic.
It is. He wasn't chasing attention. He was focused on that internal alignment, and the momentum just followed.
Which leads us right to community. T&D had some big organic momentum recently, which really proves that point.
Yes. The notes pointed to a recent giveaway, and they specifically said it was driven by intention, by a real desire to connect, not just by hype.
And that created some really meaningful engagement.
It did. The winner at Imkikaboo was announced on January 5th, and it felt less like a marketing campaign and more like a real moment of connection with his community.
And he wasn't navigating this alone. Collaboration was a big part of this season.
A huge part. The sources give a special acknowledgement to K. Will for his vision and creativity, and it just underscores that key point. Collaboration rooted in shared alignment. It carries you so much further than collaborating just for clout.
That is a powerful lesson. So we've got the foundation in Knoxville, the curriculum of clarity in Florida. What's the next chapter?
Well, the next chapter is the collection itself. It's called the Florida Arc.
The perfect name.
It's the physical manifestation of everything he learned across those 6 locations.
And when can people get their hands on it?
The Florida Arc collection drops on January 24th, and it reflects everything he experienced, the heat, the clarity, the confidence. It's designed for people who move with purpose.
So Knoxville laid the foundation, Florida sharpened the vision. It's clear Michael Johnson is building a legacy, not chasing moments. The arc in the name implies the journey continues.
It does. And it's worth pointing out, that request to validate T&D on the Signature Series network, that's not just a like button. It's a highly curated platform. Validation there is a real acknowledgement of his intentional approach to building a brand.
Which brings us back to you, the listener. Considering the detailed impact of geography on T&D Yulee, Fernandina, San Marco, how often do we really pause to recognize the specific environments in our own lives that shape our own resilience and refinement?
That's a powerful thought to end on.
You can support Michael Johnson by visiting truthanddistinction.com and also by validating Truth and Distinction on the Signature Series network. Make sure you subscribe and catch the deep dive with 9th Wonder magazine by 9th Wonder Cast on YouTube, Spotify, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. This is Natalie Stone and Ryan Cole. We'll see you next time. Be blessed.